afternoon, everybody. Happy to have you all back and joining us for episode number 2 of Corridor Conversations. I'm Curt Strout, President and CEO of the Iowa Lakes Corridor Development Corporation, joined as always with Trevor Smith, Senior Vice President of Economic Development. And I'm happy to introduce the gentleman to my right, Cody Fuller, with the founder of Fuller Radiance and the winner of this year's Big Idea Challenge. We're really excited to dig in to what Fuller Radiance is all about. Your transition to where we're at today. We talk about entrepreneurship in the corridor all the time, and you're the pinnacle of it, and we're excited to have you tell your story. So I'm going to turn it over to Trevor real quickly and introduce this week's sponsor and kick it off. Trevor.
Yeah, well, first off, we're here at our studio in the Spencer CoLab building, which is one of the many co-working spaces that we have throughout the corridor region. If you're ever interested in a co-working space throughout the corridor region, feel free to contact us anytime. And today's sponsor is Medlar Coffee. So we appreciate them supplying us drinks, getting us energized for this conversation. And so I want to start off with a quick little icebreaker. And our first question for you, Cody, is, as a Buena Vista University student, what's your favorite Storm Lake restaurant or local spot?
I would have to go with Ying's.
Ying's, that's a good one.
They're kind of an Asian cuisine place on the very end of Lake Avenue, Main Street there. I got to go, the best part of it is the pineapple curry.
So I've eaten at Ying's once. And it's great because here's the deal. So people who like spicy food, this is your opportunity to select what spice level, right? I think they give it from 0 to 5 on the level of spice.
I heard it starts at 2.
Starts at 2.
It starts at 2.
And so I like spice, and I actually went to 3 thinking, okay, I can probably handle this. And
yeah.
I'm telling you, my eyes were watering. And but the food was so amazing, you plowed right through it.
Oh, yeah.
It was good. I'm with you. That's probably one of my top places to eat down there. There's a lot of good ones to eat, but good old Ying's.
Oh, yeah.
I love it, so highly recommend it.
Well, Cody, why don't you start and tell us a little bit about your backstory. What is Fuller Radiance, and how did you get your start in entrepreneurship?
Well, so I've always known that I wanted to be an entrepreneur. From when I was a little boy, I had this little booklet where I would draw all my ideas in there, and half of them were not good ideas, but I'd draw my ideas in there. And when I got to high school, there was these classes that you could take, Entrepreneurship 101 kind of equivalent. You would get your start. They would kind of tell you what entrepreneurship was, what you could do with it. When I took those classes, I became really inspired, and it just furthered my passion, saying that I want to start a business. I want to do some sort of business. And around that same time, the main product of Fuller Radiance, of course, is our lamps. Around that same time, I developed that idea with my brother-in-law. And we didn't really take that into a big business thing. It was like, oh, well, this is a fun thing to do on the side. So I hadn't put 2 and 2 together yet. When I fast forward a little bit to college, I was nominated for a scholarship, and in that scholarship, I went through the entire process of creating the business plan, creating the 5-year plan, everything, startup costs, everything that is required of a business to get their feet off the ground, have a direction they want to go. And with that, I decided, these lamps can add a lot of value. There's a really cool story in there too. So one of my old soccer teammates, his name was Evan Edwards, he passed away driving home from spring break 4 years ago, I think. I'd only met him once during my recruiting visit to go to BVU. However, with that, I decided to send one of these lamps to his family as just kind of a, hey, we're thinking of you. The team still wants you. We still love you. You're always on our minds. And they responded with a very heartfelt letter back to me saying, this is in Evan's room. We think of him all the time whenever we walk past it. It's some great memories that we have with him, and it just helps us solidify our memories, helps us have that value of like his presence is still there. And so I looked at that and I said, this is a viable business plan. Where else can I add value? If this is adding this amount of value for a family, surely it can do so for many other families as well. So the general sense of Fuller Radiance, to kind of get to the next question, is we're more of a 3D printing service. However, it's not your typical 3D printing service. A lot of 3D printing businesses will be doing the tchotchkes, right? The fidget toys, the fidget dragons. I know I've done those for craft shows all the time. But to me, that's kind of the low-hanging fruit. So to set myself apart as a 3D printing service, as a business, I've really decided to go the route of things like these lamps that really add value to families in an unexpected but tangible way. Really making sure that the products I sell are not basic, not available to everyone. This is something that is personal to you, that adds value to your life, and above all else, makes you feel good inside.
Yeah. I mean, it could be personal to you as a family or a loved one, but it also could be personal to you as an organization too. I mean, I use us as an example with the corridor. The lamp that's sitting right here on the table, Cody, you made for us, and it highlights some of the things that we have been through as an organization the last year. And we have a couple in our office, and it just kind of a mainstay that kind of reminds us of things that have happened. We got our logo here. I think this thing rotates. Here's our first annual Homegrown Talent Initiative golf tournament. Got our logo, and then as an organization, there's our team. Now, we need to update this because we have added another member of our team. The master behind the camera, Jenny Dykema, is not on here, but we'll have to get another lamp to maybe signify what our team is. So, as an organization, as a business, as a family, I mean, there's so many opportunities that you can market, which I think makes your product rise above the rest.
Well, and absolutely. And to your point of you need to add a new picture for a new member of the team, one of the great parts that also sets this product apart is the top pops off. Photos are interchangeable.
Yeah.
So instead of needing to get a whole new lamp, you can actually just get a new frame.
Yeah.
And so what is the process of building the frame, making the frame, and what kinds of photos work really well in that, and how long did it used to take you, and how long does it take you now to produce one of these?
I'm very happy to say that I've reduced the amount of time it takes to make a lamp. The process in of itself, the longest part was the design piece. Obviously, the frame, the top piece there, and the frame that holds the photos is just kind of a basic kind of frame that I can mass print on a regular basis.
Oh, so the frame is also printed on the lamp as well.
The only thing that isn't printed on the lamp is the base, and that's because I'm not an electrician. I don't want to start a fire or be responsible for a fire. So the only thing that I really need from someone to create a full lamp are the photos that's personal to them. As many photos as they want. I can do that. I think I just ran a test. So when I first started, not only did it cost me like $60 to create a single lamp, so it was a lot because I was using like the lowest end printers, the cheapest filament, everything like that. So there was a lot of misprints, there was a lot of trial and error. It took 4 weeks to make my first lamp on my own. Nowadays, I'm very pleased to say that I can create a full lamp from start to finish, whether I have the frame or not printed out. Start to finish, I can do it in less than 24 hours. Now, obviously, with volume of orders, I usually tell people 3 to 5 business days. But with the upgrading, actually, the Big Idea Pitch competition, where I was able to get first place, that funding helped me secure new printers, which print faster, print better, and have made it to where I can print it in the amount of time I do today.
And that's awesome. And that's a perfect segue to kind of where we wanted this conversation to go with the Big Idea Challenge, which was the first annual or our inaugural pitch competition that we hosted as a corridor. And as a frame of reference, Iowa Lakes Corridor Development Corp, we do serve 4 counties of economic development, including Buena Vista County, Clay County, Dickinson, and Emmett. And this Big Idea Challenge open an opportunity for entrepreneurs across our 4 counties to submit applications for consideration for products such as yours, Cody. And it was kind of a cool deal. And Trevor, you did a great job in leading the inaugural competition this year. Maybe give a little bit of background to our listeners on the process, why we kind of did it, the judging, and most importantly, the winner. And we're going to be doing this again next year.
Yeah, absolutely, Curt. And so the Big Idea, so what it is, it's an entrepreneurial pitch competition, and we wanted to jumpstart a program to help incentivize some new business development, some young entrepreneurs. So whether you're, an in-home business looking to take your business to a storefront, if you're a part-time entrepreneur looking to take that leap to full-time, if you're a very small business looking to expand your operation, new product line, things like that. Anything to help give you a jump start, that's what we're here for, and that's what the Big Idea was created for. And so with that, applicants such as Cody submit a 90-second video detailing what their business big idea is and how they might utilize some of the funding. And then they go on to a public vote where the top 5 vote getters then go to a final pitch competition where they pitch their idea in front of a panel of judges. They get some elite coaching on their business plan, business idea, and then they compete for a prize pool of $10,000 that then can help go right into their business, help them grow and expand. And it was a lot of fun. I know it was a great experience. It was great getting to meet you. And Cody, if you guys haven't seen his pitch video, it's a masterclass. It's awesome. And so I encourage you to check out our website, corridorbigidea.com. His video is still up there. And it's definitely going to be the standard and the example that we send out to others for their pitches. So maybe take us a little bit behind, the pitch competition, you entering it. And I know after our competition, you went on to enter into a few other entrepreneurial pitch competitions as well.
Yeah, so starting with the online video pitch, I actually had to enlist help of some of my friends at the university because I'll be completely honest with you. I'm not good at social media. I'm not good at online content, anything like that. So when I heard that it was a 90-second video, I was like, oh man, I'm not even going to get in the top 5. Luckily, we had some guys who had a background in that, so they were able to, we set up the aesthetic. If you've seen the video, it's 2 lamps on either side of me, and I'm in the middle like this, like I'm Terminator or something. So that was a lot of fun. The process of building the script, 90 seconds is not a lot of time. But that's kind of the beauty of it. You need to catch someone's attention with a beautiful idea that they haven't heard before or that you do better. And you need, if it's in the same industry as another one, you need to really quickly get out your differentiation. So that was actually the first kind of pitch competition I'd ever even entered or considered entering. Our amazing mentor at BVU, Catherine Coda, came to me and she said, hey, this is something you should look into. And so once we got that submitted, it was honestly a huge breath of relief. I was like, that's over with. It's out of my hands now. Now all I have to do is recruit people to vote, which is a big thing, not only for the advertisement of the Iowa Lakes corridor and getting your guys' name out there, but also getting my name out there as, hey, I'm a small business trying to do this, check this out. I think it's a win-win situation in that sense. I was very fortunate to have the most votes after the video portion, and then I was so nervous when we got to Ella's house in Okoboji. I was so nervous sitting there. I was told I was the last person to present, and it was super nice. They brought out a bunch of food, they catered food, and I was like, I can't eat a single thing. I'll throw up if I.
And while you're waiting, you're sitting in a holding room, not understanding at all what's going on the other side, right? You're seeing some of the pitch-off contestants walking in and out, and you're probably reading facial expressions, right, and see how they.
Yeah, well, it was really disconcerting. The first person that went in and came out, they came out there like, and then the second person came out was like, that wasn't so bad. I was like, what are they asking? But I just really had to focus in. I went over my pitch a couple more times in my head, made sure that I hadn't messed up my slides. Went in there, and it was a relaxing kind of breath of fresh air to see the judges sitting right there. Like, yeah, it's nervous. You're in front of a panel of judges. They're there to judge you, to critique you. But in my opinion, that might be a little bit mean, but if you're a good business owner, you're looking for that critique. So at the end of the day, what kind of helped me was saying, at the end of the day, I'm going to get really good feedback, whether I win or not. I want to win. I'm very competitive. I want to win. But if I don't, I'll learn why, and I'll learn how to improve going forward. One of the more fruitful things that came from that competition, other than the prize money, was one of the judges pulled me aside and she said, hey, you should look into funeral homes to do some form of partnership or to sell through them. And once I really sat down after the fact and looked into that, I actually was able to find a funeral home who, in a couple weeks here, I'm actually going to be selling through them and adding value to those.
Outstanding.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
So the big idea of pitch competition is more than just prize money, right? It's those connections, because now I have connections to those business owners who are judges. I have great connections with you guys, which I'm very grateful for. So it's a very good networking opportunity. It does a lot more than just this is money, right?
Mm-hmm. Sure. And you now have a business, and we feel like the corridor is the best place in Iowa to do business, and across our 4 counties. And you're stationed in BB. I mean, that's where you originated from. You're an alum of BBU. But this is a product that can serve all 4 counties. And you're just a phone call or an email or a text message away, which is outstanding for a business owner.
Yeah.
And I do want to also highlight your special version of your lamp that is going to be utilized in maybe some of the funeral homes around, and, you know, tapping into a different market. But, you know, these are just some of the more examples of some of the different photos that you can put on it, you know, other than a logo. Mm-hmm. Honestly, the photos probably turn out a little bit better than the logo, but yeah. But yeah, and that one's cordless compared to the other one. So
yep, it does have a rechargeable battery, so we're still trying to make sure that there's good utility there. And obviously, since the lamp product is more of a premium product in my eyes, it's very simple. I offer free shipping, and because I'm so confident, it's lifetime warranty on all the photos, on the lamp frame, everything like that. The only thing that would break this thing is a kid or an earthquake. So
that's great.
Yeah.
Well, so here you are. You won the prize money. You're off and running. Obviously, you got great product. What's next now? I mean, I think you entered maybe a couple of other pitch competitions maybe around the area. And tell us a little bit about how that process has gone. And maybe now, as you're kind of extending up, right, and you're doing some good things and you're getting your word out there, really, what's the next phase of growth for you?
Yeah, for sure. So I was fortunate enough to compete in 3 or 4 other pitch competitions earlier in the spring. I'm 4 and 5, so I've won 4 and I got 3rd in another one. So very nice to have that validation from. So since then, I've been looking into. There's a pitch competition that I entered or submitted. It was kind of the online portion of what you guys did with Big Idea, and I wasn't chosen for. But I would love to break into. There's one at UNI that I would love to break into. There's one in Minnesota that I would love to apply for. So I'm definitely still looking for those opportunities. I did have the opportunity to speak just a couple weeks ago at Innovation Iowa in Des Moines. And that was really cool because that was also a really good networking opportunity. There was a lady there who had gone through this big pitch competition, got $40,000 secured, and now her product is in Lowe's, Home Depot, all of that. It was really cool to get that connection and kind of learn about her journey to figure out the steps where she was, where I was, and saying, what's next? And so kind of figuring out how she went through that process was a good eye-opener to say, well, maybe I haven't considered this. So for me personally, what's next for me is, one, I needed my own business location. That's something that I want to grow to. For the past couple of weeks, I've been saying I'm at this spot where it's time to jump to the next growth level, or I'm going to stay back and keep it where it's at. And I'm competitive. I'm very driven, so obviously I want to jump to that next level. Well, it's much easier to do that with my own business location. It's much easier to do that with a potentially couple employees, whether they're part-time or full-time. I'm looking into potentially hiring some new people. I mentioned I'm not good at social media. I'm looking at a marketing person.
So if there's anybody out there, hit up Cody.
Oh, yeah. And just really finding new avenues, because it doesn't have to be a 3D printed product. It doesn't have to be a tangible product. Looking into those partnerships, B2B, with like the funeral homes, finding new avenues. I want to look into wedding venues as a potential avenue to have like centerpieces for these, right? Another thing I want to do is I know that there are a lot of designers out there who create STL files which are used for 3D printing. They create these designs, but they don't have the means to produce it, nor do they have the platform to share it with everyone. And so they might be struggling financially to find spots for their products. I feel as 100% I could easily produce and provide royalties for those designers. So if there are designers out there, hit me up. that's a new thing that we're doing there. And it really plays into my tagline, Fuller Radiance is where bright ideas shine. And so I want to incorporate a whole portion of like giving back. Your bright ideas will shine through Fuller Radiance, and you'll benefit from it as well.
That's awesome, and it's all great visioning. You talk about going back to the big idea challenge. You said you had a little bit of trepidation of even submitting a video, right?
Mm.
And in entrepreneurship and starting businesses, it's widespread. I mean, you have to be good at social media. You have to be good at talking with people. The other thing you did was you connected yourself with people who were good at certain things. You used the university and Catherine Coda, with shout out Catherine as a board member on the corridor, is an outstanding partner of ours. When we talk about entrepreneurship and all these things, which is the purpose of the program, Trevor, is to make you get comfortable, even when you're uncomfortable, to figure out a way to launch it. And you've done an outstanding job in doing that, and you're a good communicator. And
Thank you.
The sky's the limit, I think, with you going forward.
They really hit hard about networking
Yep.
in entrepreneurship, and until you start a business, you'll never realize how important that really is. I mean, everywhere you go, you have to. Even I take my products to craft shows sometimes, and even then, I've had people say, "Hey, I want to invest in you," because of the story I've told them, because of how I've presented my products. That only comes with putting yourself out there and meeting new people, and in some senses being comfortable with being uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Right? Like I don't always like meeting new people. I'm not always in the mood to meet new people. But you always have to present yourself in a certain way. It's like a personal PR campaign.
You're always on, right, Trevor?
Absolutely.
As you continue to move on, there's a big event coming up here in a couple weeks, right? Okoboji Entrepreneurial Institute.
Yes.
And which is another event that we do host through the corridor. And it sounds like you're taking your talents into that as well, and you're going to kind of get some more judging and an opportunity to maybe win some more money.
Yeah, I would love, honestly, for OEI or Okoboji Entrepreneurial Institute, I'm most excited for the new connections, not just with the coaches and the people there that are help build your business, see your plan, and give you feedback on it, but also within my peers. I feel like it's really hard to find spaces where your peers are in the same track as you. Having BVU with an entrepreneurial incubator where you have like-minded individuals who you can brainstorm with is super valuable, but it's also uncommon. So having a space like the OEI space with your peers, where you're spending a week with your peers, brainstorming, learning their businesses, brainstorming with them, they learn your business and brainstorm with you. I mean, it's completely invaluable. You can't put a price on it.
No, I agree, and that's such a great event. It's a week-long event that we host here in the corridor. We bring in a ton of really good, talented individuals, Trevor.
Yeah, we bring in 32 students from a lot of our universities here in Iowa, including Iowa, Iowa State, UNI, Dordt College, Iowa Lakes Community College, and then Buena Vista University. So, it's a great mix of Iowa talent coming up to Northwest Iowa, to the corridor region, and getting a taste for what it's like to do business up here, and get to network and get mentorship from some of our top entrepreneurs and business leaders from our region, helping grow your business. So
yeah, it's great. So we're looking forward to that, and this has been a great conversation. You're a talented individual, as you know. We at the corridor are always here to help, do whatever we can to help make you succeed. What would be the one piece of advice? Because we're going to be doing this. I'm going to have Trevor talk about when the applications for our season 2 of Big Idea will be kicking off here in a second. But as we prepare for that, what would be any words of advice for somebody, or maybe some encouragement, or what would you say to somebody who's maybe looking at applying for the Big Idea?
You'll never know unless you put yourself out there.
Yeah.
I was not comfortable with the initial 90-second video, but I said, I want to share this with people, and even if they don't like it, at least I'll know, right?
Right, for sure.
I kind of said it earlier, but being comfortable with being uncomfortable. You need to put yourself out there. You need to put yourself in new situations. Otherwise, you're kind of limiting yourself to your potential and what success you could potentially see.
For sure. And we have resources available, Trevor and I, and our great team at the corridor. If you do get stuck on the video piece, or how do I get started, let us know. I mean, we want everybody to succeed in this process too, and it is a great experience.
I did have a Zoom call with Trevor saying, hey, What is this?
That's awesome. Oh, that is awesome.
Yeah, so information for the big idea in our second year of doing it will start coming out here this fall with the event happening this spring. So getting your idea submitted sometime this winter. You can obviously contact myself, our office. We're more than happy to walk you through every step of the process. Or even if you are an entrepreneur not interested in that, but just trying to start a business in the corridor region, that's where we shine as well. That's what we do on a daily basis. We help connect you with all the resources that you need to start your business. So that's another thing as well.
Okay. You guys ready for the lightning round?
Oh,
Little
man.
lightning round action.
Cody
Oh, man.
doesn't know about the lightning round. This is the best part. And now that podcast is out there and people know that maybe there's a lightning round, we might have to change this up. So next time our guest doesn't know, maybe it's a lightning round, maybe it's something different. But
Yes.
why don't you ask, let's know a little bit more about Cody here before we wrap things up.
Yep, so going to do a little lightning round presented by Medler Coffee, energizing us throughout this whole podcast. So if you made it this far, enjoy. So we're just going to go rapid fire. Going to be an either or situation,
Okay.
and then you're going to answer. We'll start easy. So pancake or waffles?
Waffles.
Movies or TV shows?
TV shows.
Beach or mountain?
Ooh, that's hard. I prefer a mountain, but I do love a beach.
Long car ride or airplane ride?
Long car ride. Is that true Midwestern of me?
That is. If there was one entrepreneur that you would like to meet in the world, who would it be?
Oh. Probably, this may be too mainstream, but probably Mark Cuban.
And then what would you ask Mark Cuban if you had the opportunity to have 30 seconds with him?
What is your best piece of advice from scaling small to large? He has a lot of experience with that. So what is your best advice with that 10-year plan or with that scaling?
Yeah, and Mark, was he a judge on Shark Tank, right? The show? That's what I thought. Yeah.
Well,
and an NBA owner, obviously.
Yeah.
So, Mavericks.
Well, maybe, taking a step, you've done 5 pitch competitions now. Maybe the final boss might be, going up on Shark Tank and getting some of that seed money from Mark.
You know what's crazy?
himself.
I've considered it.
Give him a shout out. It might go viral.
Mark, I want to talk with you. I want to sit down, talk about my pitch, talk about my business, and let's cut a deal.
Come up, corporate, let's go.
Yeah,
We'll make
come
it
up to
happen.
Iowa.
Iowa. That is awesome. Okay, I'm gonna change things up, and I didn't even tell Trevor this. You get asked Trevor one question, lightning round.
Oh, man.
Anything, and you get a chance to. And this is great. I love seeing him a little uneasy,
All right.
a little uncomfortable.
If you had to choose a single location to travel to, where would it be and why?
I would probably say Lake Como, Italy, because I was supposed to go on a trip out there, and it ended up having to get canceled last minute, and I wasn't able to make that journey. And so now that's always on my bucket list as a place that I want to go to, because I never had that opportunity. Well, I had the opportunity, then the opportunity got taken away from me. So that would be the one spot I'd like to go to.
That's where they shot Star Wars too, isn't it?
Yeah, they shot a lot of things there. Beautiful area, and other people got to go there, and I didn't. And so now I have to, because they got that experience and they said it was incredible. So,
Hey, you handle that pressure pretty well.
hey, appreciate it, boss.
Good job. Cody, you're the man. Congratulations.
Thanks for having me.
It's a pleasure working with you. Best of luck going forward, and keep us in the loop, and we're here to help however we can. I'd just like to thank everybody for joining us on episode 2 of Corridor Conversations with Cody Fuller and Fuller Radiance. Huge shout out really quickly to, again, the use of the Spencer Co-Lab space here in downtown Spencer, and Medler Coffee, our official sponsor of this season of Corridor Conversations.
It's really tasty.
Very tasty. So for Curt Stroud and Trevor Smith, thanks for joining us today, and we'll see you next time.